Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Thanks for joining me here on the WITN First Alert Desk at 8 o'clock this morning. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. It was beautiful outside. Hopefully you spent some time outside with your family, friends, maybe even by yourself, got to hang out and just enjoy the beautiful weather out there. And luckily, it sounds like that nice, beautiful weather is sticking around for the entire week. Jim's going to have more details on the sunshine, pretty much blue skies all around this week. Some really nice temperatures out there. You might just want to have your jacket ready to go in the mornings because we are going to be seeing some cooler mornings out there with some 40s and 50s throughout the week. But overall, really great stuff. Not really seeing any rain in the forecast as well, even clouds. You might see the occasional one, but for the most part, we're all looking beautiful out there. Before we get into Jim's forecast for the day, we do have a story concerning the Sudan Shriners Temple in New Bern, that historic building. Several months ago, the Craven County Commissioners did approve some plans to demolish part of that building so that they can create more parking available in the New Bern area for certain, especially for election time and court dates. A lot of the time, the parking over in that area does get a little bit complicated, congested. So they did make those plans. However, the temple is still standing. They haven't really done any kind of demolition yet. So we do have a story just checking in with them on an update on where the plans stand right now. So let's take a look.
Its boarded windows and doors, the historic Sudan Shriners Temple, vacant for 2 years now, is still standing tall in New Bern, a fixture since 1951. But back in March, Craven County made plans to demolish a portion of the historic building to make way for a parking lot due to the critical need for parking spaces. For some residents, it makes sense.
I mean, I guess it would be logical. There's not a lot of parking spaces around the city.
But 7 months later, the building remains untouched. However, county officials say there's no delay and they still plan on demolishing part of the temple. Some residents who live nearby are still hoping it stays untouched.
We like the building. It's going to make us sad to see it gone. Unfortunately, I guess it can't be saved. It sat there for years and nobody did anything after the flood. So we knew that it was going to have to go.
The county says they've secured a demolition permit and addressed safety concerns like asbestos since March. While some see the logic in adding parking, others believe the temple could serve a different purpose.
You know, maybe they could keep the building and make it like a community center for the kids around here, for them to have something to do.
The county says while cost estimates for the demolition and parking lot construction are still being developed, they still plan to demolish the building, but don't have a timeline on when, but do plan to preserve key historical elements to honor its history.
All right, so it is great to hear that they are obviously keeping some of this building intact to, keep the history behind it still standing in New Bern. But obviously, parking is a situation that a lot of towns often have trouble with. I know Greenville, we had a lot of parking situations in the downtown area, trying to open that up to more people. I know New Bern is also facing the same kind of problems as well. So hopefully once everything begins, all these plans and the parking gets resolved, things will be better. But obviously the timeline there is still kind of to be determined.
Yeah, work to be done. Boy, what a beautiful location out on the waterfront down there. So hopefully everything comes together nicely. Weather's coming together nicely.
Oh yeah.
Clear skies, drier air, a little windy out there. Beautiful week rolling out as we shift out of the weekend into the work week. Talk about a lack of clouds for a while. Chilly mornings, warm afternoons. Let's jump over to the meteor shower graphic first and get you set for the big show tonight. The Rhinid meteor shower will be peaking at midnight to about 5 a.m. And generally, when we're talking about a meteor shower, we need clear skies and ideally a very thin moon. And both of those components are with us tonight. A new moon, so there'll be no moonlight, no clouds, at least if my forecast verifies, which I think it will. Clear skies, get away from any artificial light. You got to, the darker the better. If you can't see your hand in front of your face, you're doing real good. Midnight to 5 a.m. and again about 20 to 30 per hour or so. The key to enjoying a meteor shower is patience. You don't want to run out there, give it 5 minutes, get frustrated, and go home. Settle in, bring a thermos of cocoa maybe, enjoy the show. There'll be maybe 10, 15-minute blocks where you see nothing. Then you may see 3, 4, 5, 6 meteors within 4 or 5 minutes as the Earth moves through Halley's Comet, the tail of the comet, that particulate matter, ice and dust in the air, creating those brilliant lights later tonight. All right, and again, that peak around midnight to 5 a.m., a little over 20 per hour, and conditions idyllic. Good stuff. Model data right now outside, we're generally in the upper 40s to low 50s. That was back at, or that's tomorrow morning. That graphic jumped on me. I expect those temperatures tomorrow morning to be even chillier. Check it out. We hit 3, 4 a.m. tomorrow. Solid 40s inland. We'll be in the mid 40s. If you're going to be out tonight watching the meteor shower, grab a jacket, have it with you. Tropical update, just got new data in on our tropical wave. Now up to an 80% chance of development. The system right now almost due south of Puerto Rico. See that X on the map? Continuing to head westward, not moving real fast all week long, headed west, and eventually expected to become a tropical depression, maybe initially, and then likely we'll have Melissa down there later in the week, if not into the weekend. Tough to say exactly when that'll happen, but I do believe it probably will happen. Unfortunately, the bulk of the model data that we dig into, the steering currents, lifting the storm and then beginning to guide it more easterly. Doesn't mean this is exactly what's going to happen. In fact, when you look at that graphic, you can see some of those tracks wanting to take this thing over towards the Yucatan, almost due west. That's what we don't want. If the system gets up towards the Gulf, then somebody along the Gulf Coast would have to deal with this system. And it could be a pretty strong storm. Some of the models showing hurricane strength as we get into next weekend. I think primarily this will be a storm for the islands of the northern Caribbean Sea, maybe into the Bahamas as well. But it gets further west, all bets off for Florida, maybe Gulf Coast as well. All right, last night, clouds, yes, rain, not so much, sprinkle or two. That was at 1, 2 a.m. While we were sleeping, Highway 264 north, little splash and dash. All of that, I say all of that, that little bit of rain is gone. Clouds are out, blue skies, temp running 4 to 10 degrees cooler for most of us than it was yesterday morning at this time. And that means 40s from Ahoskie, Roanoke Rapids back to Goldsboro. Generally low to mid 50s for most of us inland. And then the beaches upper 50s. It's jacket worthy everywhere as you head out the door right now. We'll work our way back through the 50s into the 60s. Probably fall just shy of 70 this afternoon. Again, breezy with winds gusting 20. Tomorrow it'll be more of a southwest wind, still gusting 15 to 20, but a warmer wind tomorrow afternoon. As we go to 75, late week, chilling to the low 40s at night, maybe a few upper 30s. Still no signs of frost yet. I've got blooms, roses blooming all over around the house, a lot of stuff. Late season blooms. I'm not expecting any issues with frost. I'd be covering stuff up if I was worried. I don't expect that. I think we have at least another 10 to 14 plus days before we start talking about frost, probably a little longer than that. So all good. Enjoy. The chilly mornings translate to nice afternoons through the end of the week. Weekend looks good. Gigi, low 70s Saturday, Sunday. And I expect we'll have generally sunny skies over the weekend. Late Sunday, clouds start to increase a little bit. It looks like Monday we'll get a rain chance coming in. That may shift a little bit, but right now almost all the data says post-sunset Sunday for a rain chance. So a lot of outdoor activities going on. looks good right now for the upcoming weekend.
Okay, well that's great to hear, and
Yeah.
great to hear that we have a beautiful week ahead.
Yeah.
Get outside, maybe take a walk if you can during your lunch break or even after work. Just make sure you have a jacket in the mornings. I think that's important.
Yeah, a lot of leaves out there to be raked up.
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of folks working
Yep.
in the yards. Let the winds come down. I'm not going to do any raking until we get to later this week when the winds come down a little bit. More leaves blowing onto the ground in the next couple of days.
All right, yeah, a good reminder there,
Yeah.
Jim. Well, thank you, Jim, and thank you
Yep.
everyone for joining us this morning. Check in at 9 o'clock for another news and a weather update with Charlie. Have a great Monday. Hope to see you tomorrow morning.
This hour of the WITN First Alert Desk is sponsored by Toyota of Goldsboro.